Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen at any time to type questions to our presenters. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/probe. And with that, I'll turn it over to our first presenter, and that is Linfield University. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, but so excited to be here with you all today. My name is Madison, and I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admission with Linfield University, and I'm excited to share some of our campus highlights. So I'm sure many of you have not been able to spend a ton of time in Oregon, but Linfield University is a 4-year, primarily undergraduate institution. We're located in a town called McMinnville, Oregon. Our campus, which I'm sure as you can see here from the aerial view shot, is almost 189 acres. So we have lots of space to call home. To give you a sense of geography, we are about 25 miles north of the Oregon state capital, Salem. We're roughly about 45 minutes to an hour south of Portland, Oregon, which is where the closest airport would be located. And then we're actually only about 45 minutes in from the ocean and the Oregon coast. So we're tucked in a beautiful pocket of Northern Oregon. Lastly, too, our campus is made up of about 1,400 students, which means our typical class size sits at about 14. So while we have a large campus feel, it's a smaller learning environment. Currently, Linfield offers 51 majors. You can see here that 43 of the subjects you can study belong to the College of Arts and Sciences. We have about 7 majors that belong to our School of Business. And then lastly, on the next slide, you'll see that we also have one of the oldest nursing programs in the state of Oregon. But for those of you who are wondering, our top 5 most popular majors are nursing, business management, psychology, education, and exercise science. So that's what a lot of our students gravitate toward. Like I said, we do have one of the oldest schools of nursing in the state of Oregon, but we're super excited. This is our first spring on our brand new Portland nursing campus. So we're really looking forward to fully integrating into that space. Now, I'm not going to read off every example on this slide, but while we know that attending class lectures and going to class is really important, we also work hard to make sure that you, the student, have a wide variety of hands-on learning opportunities. So what's pretty cool with Linfield is you could get involved in research or internships as early as your first year. And here are some examples of what our students have done as recent as this summer. Now, I know during the global pandemic, it's probably been kind of a peculiar thing to think about traveling abroad and going internationally, but historically, studying abroad at Linfield has been a key piece to the student experience. As you can see from this slide, we currently offer 14 different countries. Any student could choose to go for either a full year, a semester, which for us is about 4 months, and Linfield also offers what's called January term. So for the 1 month of January, you could travel abroad. But I think most importantly, I want you all to know that regardless of where you go or for the length of time, Linfield will pay for your first round trip airfare, and that's super unique. Now, as we kind of bring it back more locally, our campus experience is certainly full of different avenues that you can pursue when thinking about how to fill your free time. We have anything from student government. If you wanted to be a part of the Wildcat Events Board, you could plan things like Wildstock, which is our annual concert series. Linfield has a variety of 50 plus clubs. So that's anything from multicultural clubs, hammock club, pre-med club, pretty much you name it, we have it. We do have fraternity and sorority life, different performing arts groups like marching band, choir, theater, and then of course intramural sports and lots of hiking opportunities too. I think for a lot of our out-of-state students, it's also helpful to know that our campus is primarily a residential campus, which for us means over 75% of our students actually choose to live in one of our residence halls all 4 years. So it's a great way to meet friends and stay connected to campus activities. We currently have 15 different residence halls, including a pet-friendly dorm that students could opt into. We also have 5 on-campus apartment units and 3 separate meal plans to choose from. We are a Division III school when it comes to athletics, so there are 10 teams for the women to choose from, and we also have 10 athletic programs for men. If you're curious about what we look for on the application, here you can see a bulleted list. We are a common application school, and the best part is there's no application fee, so it is completely free to apply to Linfield. And lastly, you can see some of the different dates. We are still accepting applications for the fall of 2021. And the last takeaway is 99% of our students receive scholarship and financial aid, with the average scholarship award being almost $40,000. And I'll post my contact info in the chat. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexis Colbert. I am the Regional Admissions Advisor for Oregon State University. So I'm going to be the contact point for all of you West and in the Central time zone. And I'm really just going to jump straight in. Very excited to tell you all about Oregon State. And first, I'll just start off talking about where we are. So we are located very centrally in Oregon. We are about 2 hours from the mountains, an hour from the coast, and then an hour or so from Portland. So it's really easy as students for you to really travel throughout Oregon, take advantage of everything that we have. Our main campus is Corvallis, so we have about 25,000 students there. It is the sort of town where you get a bit of a city feel, but then we also have our local main street where we have different businesses and restaurants that are all really excited about the things that we're doing on campus and our OSU experience. We do have a secondary campus that's in Bend, Oregon. This is our Cascades location. It's much smaller, about 2,000 students there. Most of those students living on campus in 4 different residence halls, but it's really the campus you want to go to if you want a smaller college experience. You don't want to be on a really big campus, but also if you're really interested in the outdoors. So that's where you would go if you wanted to be studying recreation, leadership. That's really that campus. When it comes to our student life, we have a very active campus. So we have over 400 different student clubs and organizations. This ranges from Greek life to music ensembles, and you don't have to major in music to participate in those. But then also really honing in on having 7 different cultural resources on our campus. We are really excited for students to feel like they have a home on campus, that they can learn about their own community and others. So those are on campus and have all of their own different events throughout the year. We are also Division I in the Pac-12 with 7 different men's sports and 9 different women's sports. So there are different ways for you to get active if you want to be in our athletic community. And then we also have intramural sports where you're really just competing against OSU students and there's not so much competition part of it. For our residential life, we do have a lot of different residential options on our campus. So for our residential halls, you will be ranging from being able to stay in a triple or a double to then also being able to opt out and have a single. The really exciting thing about our residential life is our living and learning communities. So these are dorms that you would be staying in with a collection of students who are studying something similar to you. So you're taking that experience outside of the classroom, bringing it home. This example here is Weatherford Hall, and it houses the LLC for our College of Business. So there are students who live in this hall that are in the College of Business who literally have classes inside their dorm. They don't have to walk across campus. And it's a really exciting way to really take your expertise to another level. I think the biggest thing to take away about OSU is really our research. So we have over $450 million in research funding for 2020. And we are the sort of school where you are very welcome and encouraged to get involved with research as soon as your freshman year. And we really want all of our students to take advantage of that. So we have the Hatfield Marine Science Center. That's on the coast for all of our students who are interested in oceanography. We even have research vessels there where you can go with professors and be doing research. We have the McDonald Dunn Research Forest that's been doing a lot of work thinking about the rise in wildfires and how to combat that. And then we have our own Food Innovation Center. So really having a lot of different ways for students to get involved with research on our campus. So we have over 200 different academic programs spread across 11 different colleges. There's a little QR code here in the corner for you to look at if you want to look it up, see if you can find your major. But I'm really going to focus on the ones that are specific to OSU. So we have University Exploratory Studies. This is the major for students who don't know what they want to major in yet. So this is a program where you have an advisor who knows about the different programs on campus. They help you explore different departments and figure out what you want to major in, while also making sure that you're getting all your general requirements out of the way and you won't have to graduate late. We also have the Honors College. It operates like a private college within the school, and it's really not about having more work, but it's about having a more in-depth learning experience. So that'll have a separate application, but it'll be a part of your main application for OSU. For OSU Cascades, again, it's really the academic center for all of those tourism, recreation, hospitality management, and really for those students who are really excited about doing work with the outdoors and with tourism. So that's where you would go for Cascades academic programs. We are a holistic admissions office. So that means we're not just looking at test scores or grades. We do really put a lot of stock into the essays that you write and the other parts of your application. For the purposes of this presentation, I'm really going to focus on our incoming freshmen, academics and admissions. So what we're going to be looking at is really going to be the application, your high school transcript, and an essay. We do not require any recommendation letters from teachers, and we also don't require test scores. So even going forward after things calm down with COVID, we do not require an ACT or SAT test score. You can send it if you'll think it helps, but otherwise we know you're more than just that test score. And we also know people don't always test well. So for the Honors College, you would have to submit an additional essay for the Honors College, and they would evaluate them yourselves. But that is just something that you would add on to our normal admissions presentation. When it comes to scholarships and aid, we really have three main ways for you to look at how you're going to have something help you out. Some of those are admissions-based. So these are going to be scholarships where we look at you for those based off of your admissions application. You don't have to add any other paperwork or send us anything extra. The second is Scholar Dollar. So this is our own online platform we made, really just showing that you can apply to other scholarships at OSU. And then finally, we always encourage people to apply for the FAFSA. So if you want to learn more about OSU, I highly encourage you to check out our website, our virtual visits, and I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Pacific University, Oregon.
Perfect. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you for spending part of your day with us and learning a little bit about Oregon. You're noticing there's quite a few amazing schools up here, and I get to tell you a little bit about one more, that's Pacific University. And so I'm Derek. I'm actually your admissions counselor here at Pacific. And what that means is when you apply, I'm actually the guy on the other end who reads your application. So we definitely want you to get to know who that is. Know that we are a small private liberal arts school, but you get that individual connection while you're here. And again, going back to that geography about Oregon, you're learning a lot about where different things are. And we all kind of central around where is Portland. So Pacific itself is about 30 minutes west of Portland out towards the Oregon coast. We're a small college town, about 26,000 people out there. You're going to be able to walk to Main Street within a block of campus. but then we're still part of Portland Metro. So if you need to get to the airport, you can use mass transportation to get there. If you want to go watch a Blazers game, you can be there in 30 minutes. And so we're really centrally located in that we're far enough from Portland to actually be able to enjoy the outdoors, to walk off campus and within 15 minutes be in the Tillamook National Forest hiking, be an hour from the coast, but only about 15 minutes from places like Nike, Xerox, Columbia, world headquarters. So we have that amazing connection to the city as well. And at Pacific, we offer over 65 different majors, minors, and programs. So we cover a little bit of everything. And at Pacific, you do not need to apply into a separate school, a separate program, an honors college to be able to participate, but that all of our students are treated in that same small school atmosphere. So we have about 2,000 undergraduate students and about 2,000 graduate students. And some of what we're best known for is the health professions, pre-physical therapy, pre-med, pre-optometry. We have some of the best in the US. But we're also nationally ranked in things like business, creative writing, and education. So know that we do fit that full liberal arts where you're going to be able to find what you want to study while you're here, and that all the majors are getting the same benefit of small classes. Average class size here is only 19 students. We don't have large lecture halls that seat 60 or more than 60 students because that's our biggest lecture hall on campus. We want you to know your professors, and we want the professors to know who you are as well. And at Pacific, 100% of the classes are taught by professors. No TAs, no grad students doing any teaching while they're here, but that they're here to actually teach our students this top of the line education. And at Pacific, we give our students a 4-year guarantee that you'll be able to come in, get a 4-year graduation guarantee, no 5th years, 6 years, victory laps, or impacted classes, but that you're going to be able to get that 4-year commitment from us to get that 4-year degree while you're here. And as you've heard earlier, we love to be able to also make sure that you have the opportunity to connect outside of your major and build not just a degree, but also a resume to back that up. So that when our students leave Pacific, they've been doing job shadowing, research, classroom teaching, writing their own works in creative writing by the end of their freshman year, not having to wait till they're a junior or senior to participate. And that helps because we're one of the top private research universities in the Northwest. But what it means is that you have 4 years of experience when you graduate and that you're able to build on that. And as you can see, our students are placed into jobs and into the working world at a very high placement rate. On top of that, we know that our students love to be able to be active while they're on campus. So you can join in any of our 70 different clubs and organizations, ranging from student government to our Hawaii club to small Greek life. Maybe join one of our performing arts groups with music, dance, or theater, where you do not have to major in those to participate. Or join some of our 24 NCAA Division III varsity sports, 28 intramural sports, or 10 club sports. It's a very active campus where you will be able to find your group, your identity, and your people while you're here on campus. And on top of that, we want you to, again, take all of this outside of the classroom. You've heard already that Oregon is an amazing place to explore, and we want you to do more of that, whether it's staying here in Oregon and doing some of our outdoor pursuits trips and learning how to surf on the Oregon coast, go backpacking on Mount Hood, or maybe it just means going in and learning about downtown Portland. Or maybe that also means studying abroad, where we have 27 sites in 17 countries around the world, as well as that 3-week winter term class here at Pacific as well. And maybe that means giving back through community service. As one of the presidential list of community service colleges, we are very proud that our students give back so much, both in Forest Grove, in the city of Portland, the state of Oregon, and even internationally during some of these 2 to 3 week travel classes. Our students are giving back to the communities that they are very proud of. Now, when it comes to applying to Pacific and scholarship, know that we use the Common Application. It's that all online application that works for like 750 schools nationwide. We love it. That's what we're going to use. It has an essay included in it. We're going to need your transcript with your grades. We're going to need a letter of recommendation from a teacher or counselor. And we are on what's called rolling admission. So you can apply to Pacific, even if you're a senior right now or a junior going into next year. Know that that admission process continues, as well as the merit scholarship opportunities. And at Pacific, there is no in-state or out-of-state tuition and no in-state or out-of-state scholarships, which means you do not have to fill out separate paperwork, have to apply to get a certain scholarship, but all you need to do is apply to Pacific to be considered for admission and to be considered for scholarship. And as you can see here, we have scholarships for things like senior preview days, where you get to either come up to campus or right now do a virtual visit to campus. Maybe that means merit scholarships ranging from $15,000 to $27,000 per year for all 4 years, or doing special interest and talent awards for things like music, dance, theater, speech and debate, mathematics, robotics, and many, many others. But just know you're applying to Pacific, and we are test optional both now and going forward. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will put my contact information into the chat as well. I'm glad to answer any additional questions and hope you learned a little bit about Pacific, and we look forward to helping you become a boxer.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Reed College.
All righty. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm Derek Harris. I am one of the assistant deans of admission at Reed College. I'm also a Reed alum. And I, funny enough, grew up in the South. I grew up in Texas, or not in Texas, excuse me, in Tennessee. But I'll let you all go ahead and make the joke about all of my exes living in Texas. I don't even know if y'all probably, I hope you all know that song. It's a pretty good song, but I'm here to talk to you about Reed College. So as is the theme of the hour, we're located in Oregon. It seems as though so far we've had, schools in Bend, schools in Forest Grove, Corvallis, pretty much everywhere. And Reed is located directly in Portland. So this is kind of the lay of the land, just to center ourselves. This is campus. This is campus from kind of a top-down view. This is facing east, so you can see Mount Hood out in the distance there. And then this is the view facing to the west from campus. So that's the city center of Portland. Really accessible. There are 3 different bus lines that stop on the edges of campus and can get students into the city center. It's about a 10 to 15 minute bus ride from Reed's campus downtown. Like I said, the city is definitely there and available for any and all students to get to. The college also subsidizes bus passes for students to be able to go out and explore. Campus itself is beautiful. I don't know if you noticed in the last picture, there are a lot of trees in Portland. There are a lot of trees and natural wonders in the state of Oregon, just in general. This is one of the bridges on campus. There's actually a canyon that goes across campus. There's a waterway. So this is one of the bridges that goes across that waterway. The canyon is actually a natural wildlife refuge, which is really cool. In the spring, salmon swim up and spawn in those waters. And then this is a picture of our freshman class from not last year, but the year before. Fun fact about Reed's freshman class, obviously they're pretty small. As an institution, we're a very small institution. We are less than 1,500 students. I believe right now we're sitting at 1,487. We are completely undergraduate, so there's no grad school on campus. And on average, students travel for around 1,300 miles to come to Reed, with a good amount of students coming from Texas. Switching up to academics, this is Derek. Derek Applewhite, he's one of the cell bio professors at Reed. He is working with Karis here. Derek's, like I said, biology professor. Obviously, with a lot of liberal arts colleges, we definitely push, like one-on-one time with your professors. Reed is no exception to that rule. A lot of students here get a lot of time just kind of specializing with their professors, learning about everything from bio to this is an English class. So the average class size at Reed is 16 students in a classroom. Our student to faculty ratio is 9:1. So again, very much the type of place where, you can just show up to your professor's office and ask them questions about pretty much anything. Another fun fact about Reed, we have a nuclear reactor campus. And I'll pause. I'll let that information kind of sink in. We are essentially the only undergraduate institution in this country that has a nuclear reactor on our campus. A nuclear reactor that is run by students. So this is actually the highest paying job on campus, is being the reactor operator, which is a really fun thing to do. And a lot of students will get this job and then go on to be, nuclear reactor operators at a federal level. Performing arts. Performing arts, huge thing at Reed. When I was a student at Reed, I was a biochemistry major. I did performing arts. You don't have to be a performing arts major to participate in these activities. The Performing Arts Building is one of the newest buildings on campus, also one of the most amazing spaces to be in. There are theaters, all kinds of things. This also kind of branches out into clubs. So Reed has a whole, I don't know, a plethora of clubs. This is our fire stancing troupe. They're called Weapons of Mass Distraction. There's also a ski cabin and an outdoor club. So Reed has a ski cabin. It's out on the slopes of Mount Hood that all students can go to and have access to. It's a lovely place. There is, like I said, there's an outdoors club. This is actually the backpack co-op, which is space on campus that students can show up and just say, I would like to rent, you know, tents or sleeping bags or anything that you would need to go camping, or mountain bikes or kayaks, completely free. And you just sign your name and you get to check all this stuff out. Now we're gonna get into a little bit about housing. These are some of the dorms on campus. This is the newest dorm, Trillium. Fun fact about Reed, most of our housing is actually singles, but some, I can say some spaces are doubles, but the vast majority of housing on campus are actually singles. And then the spaces that are doubles are usually set up like this, which are divided doubles. So if you have a roommate, there's usually going to be a wall, and in some instances, a door separating you in their space, which is very nice. You can have pets on campus. I've seen everything from snakes to rabbits to dogs, obviously. And then I'll end just speaking a little bit about admission financial aid. So obviously we are a holistic application review type of school. So we'll look at everything from grades. We will not be looking at test scores. Reed is actually test blind for next year and most likely on into the future. So we won't be looking at test scores. So that being said, pay special attention to essays and things like that. And we only offer need-based financial aid. So no merit aid. Your aid is completely based on your family's ability to pay. So thank you. I'll put my information in the chat, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Verto Education.
Awesome, thank you. My name is Lainey. I am the Senior Associate Director of Admissions with Verto Education. I'm also going to share my screen because that's what all the kids are doing. So Verto is a little bit different than traditional universities. So what Verto offers is we're actually, we're a fully accredited study abroad college semester or year. So basically you can start off college traveling around to one of our 6 locations and then transfer those credits that you're earning to your university of choice and still graduate in 4 years. I'm going to try to play this video. It's only 30 seconds. So if it's super choppy, then it won't be too horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. Sorry. It's a kind of exciting video, but essentially it's going through our locations. I don't like that it's choppy. I understand what it's like to be a student on these. So Verto Education, our mission overall, we want to bring international experiences in higher ed together and make it more streamlined, more affordable, more accessible for students, no matter where they're coming from and where they're going. So that really shakes down into 3 main pillars. The first is providing students with the best first year of college. The second is admissions to a great fit school. So we do partner with over 50 universities nationwide, and I'll go into that in just a sec. And then the third pillar is affordability, which obviously is very important. So the best first year of college. So this really can mean a lot of things. Looking at our semesters, so we offer 6 different locations. They're all international except for one, which is domestic in Hawaii. We have 2 different types of semesters, just depending on the type of student and what you're looking for. So our on-campus semesters are more traditional, our field semesters less traditional. I'll go into those in just a sec. The academics across the board, no matter where you're going, you're taking 4 classes, you're earning 16 general freshman education credit. So those like freshman gen eds that you have to take no matter what, but you're getting them in a very different experience. Those credits are fully accredited, so we will work with you and make sure they're going to transfer over to your college of choice. They are small class sizes, so you're actually traveling with a Verto group, you're with your Verto professors, you're with program leaders, you guys are doing stuff together. All of our locations, all of our semesters are experiential. So the coursework that you're learning about directly corresponds to what you're actually doing out in the field and with your hands. So a really great way to learn. Our support services, we definitely have a lot. I think really looking at just the support on the program with our staff, both academic and non-academic support, looking at professors and program leaders. We also have affinity groups and purpose finding workshop that's woven in through the semesters just to help students really discover their passion and develop goals to work towards that. So the different types of semesters, this scale ranges from more traditional to least traditional. England, Italy, and Spain are on campus. Hawaii, Latin America, and South America are field semesters. So campus semesters, you're in big international cities. You're in London, Milan, Madrid. It's an international hub. It's very vibrant. You're more independent for these. So you're actually living in a student residence with your other Verto cohort students. You guys are commuting to class. It is more like that traditional schedule. So you're taking classes in the morning typically, and then you've got free time. We do some excursions as a group together and some other things outside of the class as well, but there is a lot of independence to do some travel on your own. This is just a sample of the classes you can choose from. You're not taking all of them. You can pick just 4 or 5. The field semesters, very, very different. You're traveling each month to a different location. We're staying at home bases with your group. We do homestays, although I don't know if we will be doing those for fall. Everything's sort of pending. Yeah, so these are definitely for the adventurous spirit, and they're called field semesters because we really map as much coursework time with fieldwork time. So if you're learning about environmental science in Australia, we're partnering with an organization where you're actually doing environmental science projects, which is super cool, super fun. We're doing a lot of stuff on these field semesters. These are some of the excursions that we're doing this fall, but there's a lot of little stuff weaved in as well. So pillar number 2, so our partner schools. Essentially what this means is we are partnering with colleges that are like-minded, and we have 54 universities at this time, which is super exciting. That list is always growing. When you apply to Verto, it's free, non-binding rolling admissions. We are a holistic review. When you apply to us, you can choose to apply to up to 5 of our partner schools if you're interested. But if you're not interested in any of them, it's no sweat, and we will work with you and make sure your credits will transfer over to your school of choice. This is just a couple of our partner schools. I know that looks like a lot, but we've got plenty more. They're all over the states, big, small, public, private, really just a pretty awesome variety. We also have 27 of those schools that guarantee admission to our Verto students. So there are different requirements for each of the schools, but pretty awesome to say if you do a semester with Verto, keep your GPA up here, you're guaranteed into X amount of schools. Pillar number 3, affordability. So this is obviously very important because higher ed and international travel are both not the most accessible things in the world for everybody. So we are trying to be on par with, if not much more affordable than a traditional university tuition. So our tuition ranges by semester, and it's between 15 and 20,000. And those prices, it's not all inclusive, but very close. The main ticket items not included are the flights to the country and then the cost of books. So your food is included, your meals are the same thing. Meals are included, your living situation, that's all included. All the excursions we're doing is included as well. We do have need and merit-based awards and scholarships. We also accept any federal aid, so FAFSA. And we do have a lot of resources for students for external scholarships as well. If anyone is interested, you can scan this QR code. It's pretty cool. I made it myself. Or you can find us on Instagram. We actually have 4 of our locations that are actually out traveling among the world right now, so you can follow their travels and see what it's like in real life on a Verto semester.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Western Oregon.
Hello, everyone. I'll be sharing my screen as well. So, Western Oregon University is one of the oldest public universities. We were funded in 1856. So we're pretty old. My name is Brianna Navarrete. I'm an admissions counselor as well as a multicultural recruitment coordinator. Western is known for being that small school in the state of Oregon. Western is located in Monmouth, Oregon. We're like 20 minutes away from Salem, about like an hour away from Portland. We have about 5,300 students enrolled at Western, including our graduate programs as well. Our average class size is about 18 to 22 students per classroom. So they're fairly small. If you're looking for a smaller class size, we're the perfect school for you. These are admissions requirements for students that want to apply. For our first year students, we have an unweighted GPA of a 3.0 GPA. Usually those come with the have C- or better in your English, math, science, social science, and foreign language in your high school. So that's something that if you're looking at applying to Western, those are kind of the things we look at. So you can always apply online. Our application is actually free for right now until further notice. We're doing self-reported GPA. We don't need immediately your transcripts, but I always tell students, just sending your transcripts, get it out of the way. That way you don't have to worry about it later. Submit your application. It's like 14 different slides, and then just request your transcripts to be sent over to us. We're rolling admission, so we really don't have a deadline. You can apply whenever you like. The only kind of deadline we do have is that you must be admitted before February 1st in order for you to apply for our scholarships, which our deadline for scholarship is March 1st. So for those of you, since we have the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program, also known as the Texas tuition as well, where we give our students, instead of paying the out-of-state tuition, which is almost $30,000, we kind of give them a discount. They only get to pay half of that. So that's why you're looking at $14,286. You literally pay like $3,000 more than an Oregon resident. 78% of our students do receive financial aid. So this is one of the things we always tell students, that they can come to Western. You don't have to do a separate application. You automatically receive it. You just, by having your address that says that you're from Texas or any of these 16 different states, you automatically receive it. And you can also apply to all of our scholarships, and you can receive all of them plus the WUI as well. So it's a really good offer for those students that are Texas students or all of these WUI students, which are these different 16 states. So we have 50 plus different majors programs on campus. Our top programs is business, criminal justice, psychology, teaching. We're #1 for teaching because we used to be just in a teaching institution. We also have computer science, exercise science, pre-nursing, American Sign Language studies, and interpreting as well. So we have those, we're known for those majors at Western. For those students that are first year, it is a requirement for them to live on campus. We have Heritage and Landers for only incoming freshmen. We have Ackerman, which is our most newest, you can say dorm. That's a mixture of different level grades. We also have Barnum and Butler. Those as well are upper division as well. You students can live there as well. Each dorm has their own mini fridge and microwave, and they get to choose their roommate. We also have upper division residence halls for those students that are transfer students or that have family. We have also family housing. For those students that want to get involved, we have these different groups, organizations on campus. We have 60 plus different clubs, organizations on campus. These are our WU traditions, what we call it. These events are put every single year, and they're really popular, and students always attend these different events that we have on campus. And they're all free. There's some that do charge a small fee, like the Hawaii Club Luau, just because they only put one event throughout the whole year. So it's just for them to kind of fund for the next year as well. let's say you need help with class or anything, we have advising, we have the tutoring center, we have service learning, career development, we got you covered. We'll help you out for advising. We have different kind of advising for those students that are exploratory, don't know what kind of major they want to major in, or if they're pre-nursing students, or if they're international students, or if they're transfer students, we got you covered. And tutoring, we have all these free different sources that you can use for you to get help with. That's pretty much it. This is our contact information to our admissions office. If you have any questions, you can email us, or you can as well call us. I'm more than happy to help you out. I'll also be putting my contact information if you have any questions. Oops, it's not letting me.
Thank you so much. Since we have a little extra time, we'll just do one quick round robin of questions for everyone. We've got about 4 minutes. So if everyone could just very quickly tell me either a favorite tradition or a fun fact about your school.
I think for Linfield, something that's really unique and it's a long-standing tradition is whenever first-year students come in to our campus during orientation, you actually receive an acorn because here at Linfield, we have a lot of oak trees. And then actually when you graduate, basically you return that acorn back, and then it's in theory given to the next incoming class. So it's kind of a unique ceremonial tradition, but it's really tricky holding on to that acorn for 4 years. So luckily you have lots of others that you can go scrounging around if you lose yours.
For OSU, I think the really cool fun fact is that, when you're in college, you're studying a lot, you might get tired, and we have this room called the Great Hall, has this beautiful fireplace, kind of looks like a room out of Hogwarts, and it's become this unofficial tradition that or going over to the cafe. And it's sort of this running tradition on campus, and it's become like a really cute way for students to just really connect and carry on their Beaver pride.
So at Pacific, one really unique thing is about 15% of our students come from the islands of Hawaii. So they bring an amazing culture and background to our campus. And it actually means we host the largest student-run luau anywhere in the mainland US. So it's really fun. It's all run by your students and your classmates. So you can actually go watch your friends dance at the largest event at Pacific every year, which is almost 4,000 people come to visit and watch you dance on stage in a traditional dance you may never have done before. Or if you're like me, you avoid that at all costs and just go watch your friends dance on stage. But it's a really unique activity at Pacific.
Let's see, favorite tradition at Reed is something called Ren Fair. Ren Fair happens every year. It is a 3-day festival that happens at the end of the year, mostly to celebrate the fact that seniors are about to graduate, but also to kind of celebrate the fact that we made it through another year kind of as a collective. There's, live music on campus. There are like art installations everywhere. Usually there's a fireworks show. Last year there was a hot pepper eating contest, which was horrible to watch and extremely painful to participate in. But yeah, definitely, it's not a Renaissance festival. It used to be, but fun tradition nonetheless.
That sounds painful. Yeah, so Verto Education, since we are pretty new in the higher ed realm, we don't have a lot of longstanding traditions, which I think is kind of cool because our students can kind of craft their own Verto traditions. I think one fun fact or neat thing is that if a student does a full year with Verto, you can mix and match so that you're going to 5 different countries in that first year of college, which is pretty cool. And I wish I had done that.
So Western, one of our traditions is the holiday tree lighting. So we have a huge tree on our main campus or street. And we come together as a community. We do like a little parade and stuff like that. And we do like cookie decorating. And then we have a competition where 5th graders write an essay. And whoever the winner is, we do a little countdown and they turn on the switch on the tree so that the lights can turn on. So it's just really cute just seeing those. And we just give out, you can take pictures with Santa and like all these fun things and all these fun things that students get to do as well with the community together. So those are some of the things.
Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing those facts. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. When this window closes, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this recording as well as many others at strivescan.com/Texas. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and hope to see you in other sessions. Bye.